equipment for most people will be a difficult decision. There are multiple factors to consider, as the equipment not only needs to provide the appropriate protection for the job, but must also be comfortable enough for the individual wearer to wear during the whole period of the exposure. There is a 4-step method we recommend when identifying the correct respirator. First, identify the hazard. Is it dust, fumes, metal fumes, gas, vapor, etc.? Secondly, assess the risk. Assess the hazard levels against safety standards and consider the other protection needed for skin and eyes. Thirdly, select the correct respirator for the required exposure. And finally, undertake training in fitting and use. This will help optimize the respiratory protection. There are 3 main types of respirator, and the protection offered varies between the environments you are working in and elements you are exposed to. When correctly used by a wearer who has passed a face fit test, an FFP1 respirator should reduce the exposure to airborne particles by a factor of 4, an FFP2 by a factor of 10, and FFP3 by a factor of 20. FFP1, low levels of fine dust, up to 4 times workplace exposure limit, or WEL, and oil and water-based mists typically found during hand sanding, drilling and cutting. FFP2, moderate levels of fine dust, up to 10 times WEL, and oil and water-based mists typically found during plastering, cement, sanding and wood dust. FFP3, high levels of fine dust, up to 20 times WEL, and oil and water-based mists typically found when handling hazardous powders found in pharmaceutical industry or when working with biological agents and fibers. P005, dust mask. The dust mask provides relief from irritation of non-toxic nuisance dusts. Effective against pollen, common household dust and other non-toxic particles, the dust mask is non-certified. P100, FFP1 dust mist respirator. Designed for applications involving dust, mists and fibers, the P100 can be used in concentrations of contaminants up to 4 times the WEL. P101, FFP1 valve dust mist respirator. Ideal for applications involving dust, mists and fibers, the P101 should be used to protect the wearer from solid, oil and water-based aerosols. The exhalation valve device can reduce resistance and expel hot air. P200, FFP2 dust mist respirator. Protects against fine toxic dust, fumes and water-based mists. The respirator can be used in concentrations of contaminants up to 10 times the WEL. P201, FFP2 valve dust mist respirator. All the qualities of the P200 with an added exhalation valve. P220, FFP2 carbon valve dust mist fume respirator. All the qualities of the P200 with an exhalation valve and an added carbon layer to absorb nuisance odors. P250, FFP2 dust mist fold flat respirator, a fold flat version of the P200. P251, FFP2 valve dust mist fold flat respirator, a fold flat version of the P201. P301, FFP3 valve dust mist fume respirator. Protects against high concentration dust, water-based mist and fumes. The P301 can be used in concentrations of contaminants up to 20 times